Good morning. Our session will begin shortly. I would like to welcome you to our Wake Tech Workforce Continuing Education Open House. We're going to be talking about job skills that all employers desire. If you have any questions or comments, please use the Q&A button and we will answer as we get them. Please provide your name and email address. So, soft skills for the workplace. Job skills that all employees desire was developed using our Working Smart curriculum. Specific soft skills will assist with learning critical work-related interpersonal skills and insights. We go into a different workplace, we have to know how we can use our soft skills to go along with our careers. So we're going to talk about confidence, your self-awareness, personal branding, self-change, and cognitive cycle. When you talk about personal branding, you're talking about what your core values are. What is it that you want others to see in you? It's like watching the Pepsi commercial, and Pepsi has their brand, Coca-Cola. There's so many different brands. So you want to brand yourself so that others will see your personality, what your ethics are. Self-change, this is what you want to do. You want to reflect on things that has happened and how can you again work with your personal branding to make sure that you are flowing in the right direction and letting others see what your qualifications and skills are. You want that confidence to make everybody say, wow, okay? So we talk about cognitive cycle. We've got so many different ways that we can view ourselves, our behaviors. We have to know how we can bring that in a positive manner into the workplace. Self-management, how to de-escalate in high-stress work-related situations. I'm sure that a lot of us have been in a high-stressed work-related situation, but how can we handle dealing with stress? That is a big thing now when you're starting to look at stress. When you think about stress, you think about negative things. But we know that life is full of stressors. So we have to find a way that we can manage the stress. We have to know our warning signs, how our personal reactions will affect us, and staying calm and clear. So let's go back and look at dealing with stress. Okay. When our lives are in constant turmoil, we find ourselves in a survival mode, struggling simply to keep our heads up. A steady job that pays a living wage is an essential step in the right direction, of course. And workers who can manage the stress of their home and work. That's a big thing. How can you separate home from work? What do you think some of the warning signs are? Could be you're eating a lot, or you're snappy, or you're shaky, your headaches. There's a lot of different signs to let you know that stress level is coming up. When you're in a high stress work related situation, those signals will show you that you need to take a step back and try to figure out what happened. How can I deal with this stress without jeopardizing, number one, your job? Okay. Personal reactions. With personal reactions, we have so many different ways that we react. It could be throwing something, it be snapping to others, but we have to be able to learn how to take those reactions and make them more positive. Yes, it's going to be difficult because we're naturally born to really react to some situations, but you have to stay calm and clear. Is it hard to stay calm and clear? In some cases, it is. How many has ever faced a situation where you had to remain calm and clear? Does anybody want to say something? Okay, what is some of the ways that you can stay calm and clear? You could take deep breaths. You could take a walk. Sometimes just taking 5 minutes to yourself to help yourself calm down will help a lot, because you're going to have your adrenaline pumping. You're going to have fun. I've seen some cases where your eyes get big. You don't know how you're handling things. So you want to be able to de-escalate in stress work related. If you don't have anyone to talk to, I would say, again, take a 5-minute break. You can go out into the hallway to the stairwell and just sit there and take some deep breaths to relax yourself so that you will be able to go back and handle things a little bit better.
Thank you, Nikki. She had also stated meditation and yoga, and Laura also stated just to run to the bathroom real quick for 5 minutes to collect yourself. Thank you.
Exactly. I love it. I tried yoga for the first time a couple of weeks ago, and it made a difference when I came out of it and said, wow, I can really relate and go forward. But there's an impact on your body and your behavior. You get that fight, flight, and freeze. When we get into a situation of stress where we want to fight, we want to just go and just tell the world that you are mad. And then there's some that we want to run out the front door and keep going until we can't run anymore. The freeze, you might just want to just sit there. You got all this bubbling up inside of you, but you don't know what to do. So you have to recognize those trigger points that is going to have your body and your behavior go into a different way. You have to use strategies when angry or anxious. During this time that we're in, we get angry, we get anxious, but we have to find a way that we can recognize those triggers. Could it be sitting in this room so long that I start stressing? It could be the smallest things. It could be sitting at your window and all you hear is the grass being cut everywhere, and you that stress begins to build up. It's not their fault, it's your fault. So you have to be able to recognize what those triggers are in that. And we talk about communication skills. Ooh, how many can we say can deal with listening effectively without saying, wait, what did you say? You got to learn how to listen effectively. Be respectful of the person that's speaking. You might not agree on what they're saying, but that lets them know you are listening. And if you don't know what they're really saying, ask for clarification. You could say, excuse me, could you please repeat what you were saying? And how does that da da da? So you want to listen and ask. Now, be careful when you're doing emails, because again, let's go back to the stress. We get stressed, we get to that email and we get to typing. But you got to be careful, because the person on the other end doesn't know what you're feeling. But once they see that email and they see all this gibberish, they're going to say, yeah, okay? You have to look at your body gestures. Some people will look at you and their shoulders are down and they're not giving you eye contact. That lets you know that they're really not interested. Or their hand is on their hips, they're looking in faraway places. The tone of your voice. I know that my children constantly say that I am raising my voice. It's not that, it's just how I talk. But you have to be careful in the public eye, in the office. You have to be careful of the voice tone because that person might think that you are really a terrible person, your body gestures, and the street versus standard language. Do we want to bring the street language into the office? No. Sometimes we do because we get so wrapped up in what we learn at home, out here in the neighborhood. You talk differently in both home and work. You can be saying one thing, and I might be saying one thing to you all, and you all might be thinking that, she's not, she's talking that street language. So you have to be careful because it does have an impact on what you're trying to say and how you are delivering it. This is one of the top things. The employer wants to know, how do you deal with conflict? I'm sure when you've been in an interview, the interviewer might say, how do you handle a conflict? You have to be able to know how to handle it in the professional. You want to deal with feedback and constructive criticism. Do we find that hard at times? Yes, because I may be feeling that I am just absolutely right, and my supervisor might be coming and giving me constructive criticism, and I might feel like it's causing a conflict. When you get to that point, you want to be able to express your feelings and concerns in a positive manner. You don't want to go in there yelling, well, you didn't do that. No, you want to be able to express it in a very positive manner. And you have to agree to disagree. I was always told you can agree to disagree. Okay. Another thing that employers want to see is problem solving and critical thinking skills. You want to be able to identify the problem and focus on a goal rather than blame. Okay. So you get a situation and your supervisor says, can you help with this situation? You want to sit there and think about how can you best identify what the situation is and how you can identify a goal and not blame somebody. Well, it was her fault that she wrote it wrong. No, you want to gather the factual information. You want to make sure that all information is correct. Can it go good and bad? Yes, it can. But you want the facts. Then you want to analyze the pros and the cons. Okay. Is it good to do it this way or is it bad to do it that way? You want to know what is going to be the best outcome when you're dealing with a problem. You have to use those critical thinking skills to be able to get to the root of the problem, how to solve it, so that everybody is excited and happy about what the outcome is. Any questions? Now, failure to use some of these soft skills. Skill deficits. Don't know how to use confidently or competently. Okay, if you go in and you want to go in again with your confidence held high, but if you don't use that confidence or show that you are competent, that employer might say you might not be fit for this job because they might view you as being rude or unskilled at managing emotions. There have been times when I've seen individuals that could not use these soft skills and they would break down and they would cry because they couldn't manage their emotions. Then you got the motivational deficits, not interested in using these skills. Why do I need to use these skills? Oh, hold on, I got to go talk to my family right quick. Forget about what I need to be doing. I got to handle this first. I'm putting family and friends over the work. I'm not interested in what these soft skills, what is it? Okay. And you have your cognitive and cultural deficits. Responding defensively. I know I'm bad at that because I have a defense mechanism. I have a wall And I will just not stop and think about the behavior sometimes. Not all the times, but every now and then it creeps up. But we have to be able to know our cultural deficits, because what I might like and might believe in, that other person may not agree. Okay. Any questions? I know probably went through this quicker than I imagined, but think about getting involved in a working smart class to learn all these different ways to manage and gain the soft skills that you need to go to that next level. When she showed that employer that you had the skills, as my mother-in-law used to say, skills to pay the bills, that you're happy. You have to be happy going into the job. Every day is not going to be happy, but using the skills that you learn in working smart and looking at the skills that the job employer really wants to see makes all the difference in the world. You don't want to go in with an attitude that they need me, I don't need them. It's the wrong type of attitude to have. You want to go in with some of these soft skills, and there are many more soft skills that I could talk about that would include your work ethics. You need to understand and mentally adjust to the workplace culture. Okay, you've got your personal reactions, again, your warning signs. What does that employer expect out of you? How can the positive, negative traits of employers for your own made up company, you think about it. How would you handle it in a positive manner? Okay. You want to understand the written expectations along with the unwritten. So you have your written expectations and your unwritten expectations. I expect to be able to go to my place of employment with a positive attitude and doing what the company brand is, along with my own personal brand. Do we code switch? Yeah, we can code switch. And that is being able to go from one situation, not changing your behavior, but the atmosphere sometimes will make you code switch different environments. I might talk to this person in a professional manner on the job. That same person I might see later in the evening. I'm not on the clock. Do I need to code switch? I don't need to, but if that person's saying one thing that's making you feel confident and relaxed, it just depends on your environment. You have to be able to adapt to your environment.
And Miss
Um,
Bernadette, there was one question in the chat. Jill Straight asked if the classes are offered online, are one-on-one coaching opportunities available for this material?
Working Smart will be available in the springtime online. It's more than what I've just said, so you will have all the information in the worksheets that you need. I am a Working Smart facilitator, so this class is very detailed and you have a lot of examples that you can use in your day-to-day life. And sometimes I get a little crazy and I do things to see if it really works in my environment. Of course, it's just me and my husband, but I'll say something and he'll say, is that stressful? How do you handle it? What is triggering it? What is the problem? And we get a laugh out of it because we're just playing. But in each one of the modules, there is activities where you will be in one of the person's roles that we're talking about in that module, and you will see the reactions that each person has. Okay. Um, you want to be able to really handle the feedback. I can say I can get nervous when I want feedback because I don't know whether I am ready to accept it. But you have to be able to handle it the best way you can. Okay. You want to express your concerns. If you see that something is not right, go to your supervisor and say, listen, I have a concern about X, Y, and Z. How can we handle it? You don't want to make a big ado about nothing, but you want to be able to express your concerns. I don't think that this is correct. How should I be able to handle it? You just be able to communicate effectively. Okay.
And Ms. Bernadette, one other question that Ms. Jill has is, does Wake Tech offer one-on-one coaching for a person who is struggling in the workplace?
Um, I think we do have some job coaches or career coaches. I will have to get that information and get it to you. If you will please put your name and email address in the question and answer chat box, I will find out for sure.
And we do have a program called Career Pathways. I know they have career coaches that help with several different departments, and I believe that is one of the things that they
Ex-
help with, Ms. Jill. So we can direct you to them if necessary. So we have your email address. I've got that noted, as well as your question. Thank you.
Now, some of the upcoming classes during the spring: pathways to phlebotomy career, pathways to working from home, pathways to a call center profession, technology tools for job search strategies, and again, working smart. We have more classes that we'll be planning. We just don't know what at this moment. But I can actually say the phlebotomy career pathway is a good way if you're interested in being in the healthcare field to see if this is truly what you want to do. We are all basically working from home, but the difference is I'm working from home for my job, but there are some that want to have their job working from home. There are ways to learn how you can find those legal working from home positions. Call center. It's a big deal because every time you pick up the phone and you call, let's say the light company, you're going to get a call center professional. You want to know what it is. How should that person be interacting with you? Okay. Your technology tools for job search strategies. You want to be able to have the technology skills to help you along your journey in finding that position. And again, working smart. I really encourage you to look at the working smart and see how that will fit into your work environment. This is my contact information. I am an instructor and CRC coordinator under Human Resources Development, Workforce Continuing Education on Lewisburg Road, Building C. My phone number, 984-275-3983. You can call me anytime, anytime. I don't mind answering your questions or how I can help you. And my email address, bwmcallister@waketech.edu. Any questions? Thank you so much for participating in this short session. I hope that you were able to get something out of it that will make you want to go further and know how you can get those job skills that an employer desires. Any more questions, concerns? Thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoy the rest of these sessions that we're having. We have great presenters that will give you other information about workforce continuing education. Okay, thank you all and have a very wonderful day.